All right, Shalom. First and foremost, going to give all glory and praises to Yahawah, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostle and elders of Great Millstone. Peace, salutations to the men that's out here pushing this truth. All right, and Shalom to the elect. All right, just finna get into this quick lesson, on, YAHAWASHI'S return. All right, because look, YAHAWASHI, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, he's not coming back, on no peaceful shit. All right, but rather to, as the scriptures say, what? Plead with all flesh. All right, he's and the word plead going into the Hebrew word shapat, going into judge. All right, that's what Yahawashi is coming to do. All right, because what? This world is full of wickedness. The leaders, all right, the governments is all everybody's just governing in wickedness. All right, everybody's what? Keeping the nation of Israel, who the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, at the lowest state. All right, it's just all fucked up here in this world right now, And guess what? You don't think Yahweh Shem Yahushua, the God of the heavens and the earth, is seeing that? He is seeing it, So, it's about to be, recompense, basically, This is Jeremiah 25 and verse 29. For lo, I began to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should be utterly punished. It's like it. I'm gonna read it again. For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, and should ye be utterly punished? Unpunished, Salakia. Ye shall not be unpunished, for I will call for a sword upon all the inhabitants of the earth, said the Lord of hosts. All right. Oh, see, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, what? He put a belt to ass to the nation of Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, to the point where what? We was out here, what? Calling ourselves black, all right, Native American, Mexican, all right, that's how bad that it got, our heritage got stripped from us, But now, what? Hey, we woken up, all right, and what? The prophet is out here prophesying, to this wicked kingdom, mainly to Babylon the Great, aka America, Esau, Edom, all right, and letting them know that what? Hey, you're about to get that punishment too, and all you other nations, because it ain't just Esau, it's all you nations, because as the scripture saying, Psalms 83, that they all consulted, together, to basically keep us down, roughly paraphrasing, So guess what? This message, hey, the prophecy or the prophets is speaking to all the heathen nations, Isaiah 34:1, come near ye nations, hear and hearken ye people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of the Lord is upon all nations, and his fury upon all their armies. He hath utterly destroyed them. He hath delivered them to the slaughter. So see? So, it ain't just to Esau, but rather to, all you heathen nations, all right? We're out here prophesying the downfall, of course, Esau, Edom, all right? And then, right along with Esau, Edom, the heathens, all right? So-called what? African, so-called Japanese man, Chinese man, all right? Arab man, all right? All of y'all, all right? Indian men, all right? Because y'all are all, in one, to keep us down as a people, keep us away from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, So guess what? The indignation of the Lord is upon all of y'all, all right? That righteous anger of Yahweh Shem Yahushua is upon all of y'all, all right? It says he had utterly destroyed them. He had delivered them to the slaughter. And see, because what? Yahweh Shem Yahushua, he's about to, he's setting up World War III, all right? Y'all all gonna be over there in the land of, what does the scripture say? Yahawah Shapat, Y'all gonna be gathered over there, all right, to what? Fight out World War III. But it's just gonna be a total. Y'all, none of y'all is gonna win. Who's gonna win that war? Yahawashah. All right, Yahawashah and the angels. They're gonna win that war. All right. So it's gonna be a total bloodbath over there. You know. So this is back in Jeremiah 25 and verse 30. Therefore prophesy thou against them all these words, and say unto them, the Lord shall roar from on high, and utter his voice from his holy habitation. He shall mightily roar upon his habitation. He shall give a shout as they that tread the grapes against all the inhabitants of the earth. All right, and that's going to be what? That's going to be Yahawashi appearing back on this earth. All right, his second coming. All right, he's gonna. It ain't gonna be a thing of what. Here, I'm gonna get another preset so like I had to scratch my back. You know, Yahawashi, who the word English calls Jesus Christ, is not coming back to love on everybody. What is it? Matthew 24 and verse 30. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. So see, it said all the tribes of the earth shall mourn. So everybody that's not the elect is going to mourn when they see Yahawashi and the angels pulling up. Why is that? Because they're going to understand, like, oh shit, I'm about to be recompensed for my evil. They're going to understand that Yahawashi is not, just off his presence alone, is going to be known that what? He's not coming back to play, So yeah, back in Jeremiah 25 and verse 31, it says, a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath, a noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord hath a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword. All right. So this is what Yahawashi, is about to come and do. All right. He's about to plead with all flesh. Let me get some scriptures real quick. This is the book of Isaiah 60. I'm gonna start at 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. All right, and that's Yahawashi. All right, what it say? Glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. Yahawashi. In his mighty chariot. All right, what the world Italy calls a UFO. It says, wherefore art thou red in thy apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat. All right, so like, hey, why, this is a question, like, why is your apparel, all basically, all red, like somebody that's treading grapes, It says, I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. All right? And that's what Yahawashi is coming to do. He's about to, starting off with here, Babylon the Great, aka America. America is going to be destroyed by the nuclear missiles. All right, right along with Yahawashi and the chariots, helping the missiles. There's going to be a lot of death here in Babylon the Great, aka America. Because this place is where the hub of wickedness starts from. It comes from. But yeah, it says, I will tread them in my anger and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. All right, that's just a representation, or representation of what the Lord is about to come and do. It ain't gonna be a little thing where Yahawashi, he's about to be all bloody, but rather it's just about to be a lot of death, For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. All right. So yeah, hey, Yahawashi, he's up there, he's constantly thinking about it. He's constantly thinking about what? Getting at these heathens, all right? Getting at Esau, Edom, so-called white man, for everything, all right? For him, when he was on the cross, all right? Them two Roman centurions, they was what? They was basically like fucking with him, They fucked with him, all right? They gave him vinegar to drink, It's like, I forgot what else it was in that vinegar. They placed a crown of thorns upon his head, So it's all in his head. And then at the same time, what? The heathens is fucking us up. The nation of Israel, all right? Verse 5, and I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore my own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And see, this sounds like a dreadful day, This sounds like this never happened, This is a future prophecy right here, all right? It says, and I will tread down the people in my anger and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth, all right? So all heathen nations, they're all going to be put down, starting off with, because what? Esau, Edom, so-called white men, they're in rulership right now. According to Job 9:24, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked, all right? But what? Yeah, when Yahawashi appears, when he come back, it's gonna be raps, It ain't gonna be a such thing as a crown upon their head, When Yahawashi, as immediately as when Yahawashi appears, it ain't gonna be a such thing as, a crown upon none of the heathens' head, Just off his presence alone, the crown is just gonna be, basically immediately given to him, That was it on that. Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66 and verse 15. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with the flames of fire. All right. So see, this is how Yahawashi is coming back with the chariots. All right. And what? Out of them chariots, what is going to be shot? Them laser beams. All right. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. All right. So the slain of the Lord is going to be many. It's like it. All right. I'm going to read that again. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord plead with all flesh. All right. Plead, going into the word, Hebrew word for shapat, going into judge. All right. So Yahawashi is going to judge all flesh, Put that sword upon their ass, Put judgment on their ass, For all the heathens, all right? All the heathens about to get it, And the slain of the Lord shall be many, all right? So this is Yahawashi doing, putting belt to ass, basically, shit. All right, and this is what the elect is waiting for, Yahawashi's return, When Yahawashi return, we're all gonna be, Lord willing, I'm part of that number, and whoever else is listening, we're all, we're of that number, When Yahawashi cracks them clouds, we're gonna be excited, because it's gonna be known, it's gonna be like, hey, we about to be out this motherfucker, we about to get beamed up, be in the kingdom, Let me get something else. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42. "13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yeah, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies." All right. And real quick, I'm just going to get it. You know, these are our enemies. All right. YAHAWASHI, who the world is going to be called Jesus Christ, he did not come to die for everyone. All right. As the scriptures say, what? He came to redeem them that were under the law. And who was under the law? You know, it says that in the book of Galatians chapter 4. You know, who was under the law? The Israelites. All right. And the whole world wasn't given the law. You know, Moses wasn't speaking, you know, at Mount Sinai. He didn't give the law to all nations. You know, it was only who there? Nation of Israel. All right. So yeah, YAHAWASHI, who the world enemy called Jesus Christ, did not come to die for everyone. All right. He does not love every nation, you know, here on this earth. And through these scriptures that I'm bringing out, it's proven that. Because if he did, why would he be coming back to, you know, kill? You know, why does he have a controversy with these nations? It's like it. Psalms 83 and verse 1. Keep not thou silence, O YAHAWASHI. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O YAHAWASHI. All right, and yeah, YAHAWASHI, he, you know, he's not holding his peace no more, because what? The prophecies are coming to pass. All right, and soon to come, YAHAWASHI is going to be here. You know, for lo, thy enemies make a tumult. All right, you know, a war cry. You know, and they that tumult going into like a war cry, and they that hate thee have lift up the head. All right. So see, you got nations out here. It's about to, here, let me keep on reading. Verse 3, they have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones. So see, they have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. For they have consulted together with one consent. They are confederate against thee, the tabernacles of Edom, and the Ishmaelites of Moab, and the Hagarenes, Gebal, and Ammon, and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre. Ashur also is joined with them. They have hope in the children of Lot Salah. All right. So see, all the nations. All right. Let's say Edom, Ishmaelites. All right. Edom going into so-called white man. Ishmael going into the so-called Arab man. All right. Moab going into the Chinese man. All right. Ammon going into Japanese. Amalek going into the, you know, the small hats. All right. They're all in one consent, you know, to keep us down. They are our enemies. All right. So therefore, they are YAHAWASHI'S enemies too, you know. Isaiah 42 and 13 again. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yeah, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. So see, when YAHAWASHI comes back, it's going to be in the midst of World War III. And they're all going to, I just got to get it. Shit. Just got to get it. Second Ezra 13 and verse 3. And I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with thousands of heaven. And when he turned his countenance to look, all things trembled that were seen under him. All right. That's YAHAWASHI and the angels. All right. And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burnt. All right. And that's the fire, that laser coming out them chariots. All right. What the world enemy calls UFOs. All right. that heard his voice like as the earth filleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the men that came out of the sea. So see, all nations, all right? It said from the four winds of the heaven, all right? So that means throughout all the earth, all the armies are going to try to, bring down Yahawashah, all right? But I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon him, all right? And that great mountain going into that, chariot, all right, that he's going to be in, all right? But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. That's how that chariot, that Yahweh is about to pull up on it's enormous, And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fight. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks of tempest. All right. So see, it's proving that way. Out of that chariot is going to come that laser beam. All right. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burnt them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw this, I was afraid. So see, Yahweh Shah, he's about to prevail over all the nation's armies, Isaiah 42 and verse 14. I have long time holding my peace. I have been still and refrained myself. Now will I cry. And because what? Yahweh Shah, he himself doesn't know when he's about to, appear. Only Yahweh knows who the word really calls what? God. Only Yahweh knows when he's gonna let Yahweh Shah come back. That's what is that? Let me get that real quick. Just prove what I'm saying. It's the book of